So what do you know about design? What do you know about branding? I mean, we all know how brands play a major role in consumer marketing and how much money companies are willing to invest in them. But when did that even started being a thing? And is a brand's value only relegated to corporate marketing? Well, let's see if I can give you a bit of an insight on brands and how they shaped human society. The word brand comes from brandr, which can mean to burn in the Old Norse language. And at first, it really was all about burning symbols onto cattle. But during the 14th century, as international commerce grew, so did the need to brand different products, whether to ascertain ownership, origin, or quality. However, the act of branding precedes its name, and people were already marking cattle 4,000 years ago, first with paint and tar, and later with hot iron for a more permanent solution. It was in the same period that the first branded ceramics appeared in China, later spreading through India and classical Greece. In ancient Mesopotamia, trademark goods were found dating from 3000 BC, and in Egypt, stonecutters would brand their contributions to the pyramids as far as 6,000 years ago. Archaeologists have identified at least 1,000 different potters of the Roman Empire just by their logos, and many medieval guilds would use watermarks to identify their products. Even artists' signatures could be seen as early branding tools. But it was in the 19th century that brands gained even greater status. With the advent of industrialization and prepackaging, big manufacturers now needed to compete with local, traditional producers. And brands had to not only ascertain quality and ownership, but also consistency across multiple markets. And it didn't just stop there, because in the 20th century, the era of advertisement began. The competition for markets grew bigger and tougher than ever, and brands, yet again, needed to expand their definition. They now conveyed messages, stories, and a lot of emotional content. More than a means to identify products, the objective of a brand was to create a strong emotional bond with the customer. Now, the twist here is that this was nothing new. In fact, what commercial brands learned to do in the 20th century, institutional brands had already been doing for thousands of years. Throughout all of human history, people have been creating different brands for a variety of institutions. That includes family crests, royal seals, armies, religion. For years now, humans have been born and raised under a national flag, a community brand with values, a story, a language, and a culture to back it up. Now let me repeat myself here. Values, a story, a language, and a culture. These are the main factors for a successful brand. And commercial brands nowadays know that very well. Don't believe me? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you add an I to the name of any digital device? And how many people are not just clients, but actual fans of that brand? How many of them would never swap to a different one, no matter how expensive it gets? Think about the world's brands, mainstream or indie, and all of their most loyal followers, those who would stand in line to get their latest product, who would form communities or even grow entire cultures around it. Think about it and you will understand that loyalty is a true value of a brand. Loyalty that can't be bought with just a good product, that needs to be nurtured with strong emotional content, a set of values, a story, a language, a culture. Principles that now corporations take as their own, but that have, for thousands of years, powered the institutional brands. These brands that have shaped human society.